guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to play a tournament again on leeches.org. So it's a Blitz tournament, actually Super Blitz, 3+0 under 17 rated. So it's going to be equal competition for me. Well, I'll send the link of the tournament in the chat box. So if you meet the requirements to play this tournament, then you can play it. Okay. So 30 seconds left for the tournament to start. Actually, that's the chat page. Actually, I have to sign in to chat, so I'll just
9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay, so the tournament started, and there we go. We have my match started. So it's a 3+0, so there are a lot of chances for me to win through timeout also, or lose through timeout too. Well, I'll just go with the King's Gambit. Well, I'm very familiar with this opening, so I'll go with it. Well, now I can actually develop my bishop. Well, this is not a good move because he gets a tempo. So this is not a good move either, because now I'll have to move my knight and this check comes. So what I'll do is I'll just play bishop e2. He captures, then I'll capture with this pawn. I can develop my bishop. So well, now I can short castle. And maybe d3 or d4 to remove the knight from here. Well, now I can play d4. I get a strong center and knight can't. Okay, well, yes it can. So well, d4 isn't a good option, it seems. Knight comes here and it's quite difficult for me to manage. Knight b5, I can capture. He captures the knight, I capture, and if he captures my knight, then I capture his bishop. If he captures my bishop, then I capture his bishop with my knight. Well, this piece is undefended. Oh, that was a check. Okay, so I'll have to move it. Capture. I think, first I'll play, well, no, I'll play queen g4 check. Most probably the king is going to move there. Well, I blocked it because this queen, okay, was not undefended. Well, if he captures the pawn, then maybe it's not a wise decision. I get an open file. Okay, and if he captures this too, then it's like even more easier for me to attack his king. I maybe some sort of sacrifice. Well, I'll go with rook b4 here to make a battery of my rooks and attack his king. Oh no, what's happening to me? That was hanging. Well, just resign, nothing's left. Starter. Well, now I'll have to play properly. e4, e6. French defense. Well, I can play d6 now. Captures, I capture. This knight is pinned, so I'll have to see some way to create an attack on it. Well, now how does he defend this? There isn't any way. Well, now I think I win the knight and then the rook. He moves his queen, then it's a check, and if he doesn't move, then it's a fork. And thankfully my queen is defended here. Captured the pawn with check. Maybe there is some checkmate over here. Well, no, I'll just capture the rook. This king has pretty much many squares to go to, so checkmate should be very difficult over here. My king is pretty safe. He doesn't has any piece to attack my king. I can long castle and then develop my bishop and then long castle. Well, there's an attack on the bishop. So, well, what about queen takes a2? Then I can play this check too. If he blocks with this knight, then bishop c3, and if he brings this, okay. So, I'll have to create another attack on it. First, I'll just capture the pawn. Then I can play this check. And then I can grab this pawn. Well, that's an attack on this, so well, maybe I can capture here. He captures. I play this check. Most probably block with this knight again. Then I can play knight d4. Well, but then he can defend by queen g4, so that isn't a good option. Well, I'll just retreat my bishop, not capture. Then maybe queen e4. Then I can capture this pawn. Well, with the knight this time I'll capture, attacking this knight and threatening some sort of discovered attack on the queen. He removed the queen from the defense of this pawn, so well, actually I'll have to play quite fast. I don't have much time left. Okay, so that was a good win. So Karukan, actually I don't know much to counter this defense, I mean opening. I'll play some sort of French over here. Well, first I'll play f4 to maintain a good, knight f3, then bishop e2. Let's first open up the center. There isn't any attack on this. Well, this check, then bishop d2, and then it's a tempo, so the queen has to retreat. If he goes, means roams around over here, then there are chances for the queen to be trapped. He captures, I capture. He captures, I capture. Well, with the rook I'll capture. Now, well, short castling is beneficial for me. I have an open file along this. He too has, but then his pieces aren't developed, and this can't develop also. Well, with the rook I'll capture. Well, that's an attack on g6. I think I can still short castle, even though he has advanced his pawns. His king too is in the center. Oh. I think that isn't a good move. Well, some sort of discover threats. First, I can play this check in order to attack this pawn. Well, he goes there, that's a blunder, then it's a fork. Well, checkmate. I wonder how these guys play so many matches in just 20 minutes. I think this is the Alkine's defense. Let's play some Queen's Gambit sort of thing from black. I think, well, this isn't a great move. You can just play these three. He threats to play knight t5 here, and there's some problem. So I'll have to treat my bishop. Well, that's the reason most of the players keep their bishop in the 7th or 2nd rank. Well, this time I'm going to long castle. Okay. I think long castling isn't a great idea now. He actually has started an attack. And the next move, well, he can't play this now, but then he can play bishop c3 and then push this pawn. Okay. Well, this is a blunder. He captures this pawn, so let's remove the knight from here. Let's push the bishop. A long castle now. He plays this, then I retreat my queen, and if he plays a6, then I can play b6. I'll just lock the position and remove any attack possible for him. So, well, this is actually a problem in my area, but then I can manage well with it. What about t5? Well, that's a center punch. Yeah, I'll go with it. He captures, I capture, and I actually have a good center here. Just lock and lock the position. Well, that's a tempo. I can play bishop d6 and then, well, yeah, and then e4. well, not there, here. And there's an attack on I can capture. That's a check, and now maybe some sort of checkmate is available here. Well, I don't have much time to think. I'll just play any move. I can actually go with bishop g4. There isn't any chance for the bishop to get trapped. Well, this pawn is missing, so that's why. And maybe I can. Well, what was that? Oh, actually, I thought this was a queen. That's why I played this to attack. Queen. Okay, I'll just retreat. I've lost a bishop, but then maybe I can manage well. I have a strong attack on his king. Oh, actually, I see something interesting here. Well, I'll actually try winning through, this time problem. My position is way too closed. Oh, that was checkmate. F4. F6 is actually a blunder. I think I can play knight d4. Well, actually, I'll prefer playing e5 and just break the center, and maybe some attack I can launch this way, and I can bring my queen too. But first, by eliminating this knight, I can maybe play knight e4. Well, actually, this isn't a pin. Knight e4 I can't play. En passant. Now trading the bishop is forced. I capture this pawn. The rook 2 falls. Now I'll just trade and trade and trade because I'm material up. Now actually I can play in, now I can't. I pinned it, so I'll just remove the pin. Actually there's an attack on this pawn as well, and playing this will make this undefended, so I don't have any other option either. I'll just move this somewhere here. There are 3 defenders and 2 attackers, so we really can't do anything. Now I'll remove the pin. Let's just capture. Well, that's a blunder. I can play rook f1. Wow. And maybe this way, well, some sacrifice was available. Well, I just capture with the side pawn which enters the center. Well, why not bishop c5? It's, you know, threat type thing. I'll have to block with my knight. Oh, well, actually that's a blunder. I think some sacrifice I can do. Well, I'm thinking about that. Well, this is a blunder. You can give some checks. Let's go with bishop into f2 check. Just check, and then I win the knight. Well, even though I'm 2 points down. I'll just resign. Nothing's left. So we have a match started. e4 is Scandinavian Defense. Well, this position is quite tricky. I actually have to maybe play some move like c3 in order to defend this pawn, because you know, 2 defenders and now 3 attackers. Now I'll go with short castle. Actually, he captures, I capture. I'll have to remove this queen. Let's just remove the pin first. He captures, I capture. Okay, well, thankfully I removed, or else I was losing my knight. Well, actually he has won a pawn, I guess. But then, well, this isn't a good move, because he plays b6 and my bishop is trapped. I'll first short castle. Well, I'll go with f3. This queen is undefended, so maybe some threats. Oh, I actually didn't see that. All moves are forced for me to play. Going in the center isn't a good move. Well, I have a lot of problems in my area. Going here will give me the same thing. I'll go with this. Actually, he should have played this check. Well, my king escapes now, and he's still 1 pawn plus. I mean, only 1 pawn plus. I can win this pawn, but then this pawn falls. So let me bring my rook. Then, oh, that's a blunder. Capture, this check, and then I'll win this pawn. Maybe I can use some deflection tactics in this position. I can play bishop d4 and then, well, no, this queen comes here and some problem. First I play bishop d4. Well, resign because trading is forced here. Well, now I can capture and then, well, d4. I'll capture with my actually pawn. He captures, then maybe bishop e3 captures, capture. I actually have a strong attack after short castle. I'll short castle here, let him capture. Then I can play c3 and, well, trap this bishop, but then I honestly have a good attack towards this king. First c3, because for this bishop is defending the knight. Well, let it escape, I don't care. So we played d6 in order to avoid e5. That creates a lot of problems in this area. But then I can play queen g3. Now I didn't capture, and, well, he can't capture with any of his pieces. This is pinned and my rook is over here, so the queen can't capture either. I can maybe create some attack on this. Well, it's going to be a draw. He plays this, okay, captured the pawn. Well, maybe bishop takes f7, rook takes, and then I actually don't have any checks to play with my queen. running out of time. Well, the only move left is bishop takes queen because that's a fork. Capture. I think you can't capture. Well, rook takes f7 or maybe bishop takes f7. And there are plenty of problems in this area. Well, yeah, that's the only move. And then well, this is a bishop trap. No, it can come here. I can thread some background checkmates maybe. Well, it's 7 points plus and I have really nothing to do. I'll just resign. Well, I'm in the 50th position with 6 points. I actually have lost almost all the matches. 3 I have won. This time let's play the Sicilian Defense. I'll short castle here, bring my rook to e8 and then some, well, that's been okay, no, it moved it. Let's play queen c7 first. Then bishop d6 to aim here, then knight e5 to remove this knight. He captures, I capture, and then again attack on h7. Bishop d6, he can't means capture, that's an attack on his queen, so he has to move it. Now I can capture, I get a pawn. I capture. Okay, so he eliminated my bishop first. I captured my knight. Then I capture the pawn. Well, I'm a point, I mean a piece plus, so trade. Let's play safe, I'll just retreat. Well, I'll go to e6. Maybe I can bring my rook this way into the game. That bishop is there, so I'll have to remove that first. Well, rook e6 seems to be good, he can't attack it. He doesn't have this light square bishop. Well, that's an attack on this pawn. 2 attacks actually, but I'm already a pawn plus, so well, in terms of pawn it's going to be equal. If he captures, then it's going to be a blunder. Rook h6 check, king goes to g1 and then queen h7, queen h2 is a checkmate. Still I think I can play that. I'll just eliminate the bishop because that was guarding h6 and this check. Okay, so the king escapes from here. Maybe some checkmate is there. Well, not a checkmate, but then a queen pin is there. Rook f5 is forced for him, but then he didn't play that. So I'm 4 points plus. Well, actually it's the same. Some fork maybe. Well, actually I'll have to play fast. I don't have much time remaining on my clock. I'll just a fork. Now I can capture this pawn as well. I mean that rook as well. Oh, that was mouse slip. I want to play rook b8. Now we can't defend this pawn. 30 seconds is more than enough for me to checkmate him. Okay, so he resigned. 16 minutes left. I'll just play d4. I don't get the point of playing such pawn moves at the start. A short castle. Well, this was under attack, so I can't castle. Now I can castle. He captures, I capture, he captures, rook e1, and tata bye bye to the queen. I can capture that. Well, some sacrifice I think I can do. Well, what's the point of playing that move? I can just capture, and then there's a rook pin. I mean queen pin with the rook. He can't block it either. This should be an easy win. Oh, that's checkmate. Finally, I got paired. Well, standard opening moves I'll play. I think this is the Danish Gambit. Well, this isn't a good move. I get knight c6 with a tempo. This pawn can't be pushed. I can just capture. Well, now d6, bishop e6, queen d7. I think, well, no, that can't be played. Now let me just wait to see where he castles. If he castles short, then I'll castle long, and if he castles long, then I'll castle short. Well, if I play g5, then long castle is compulsory for me. So well, I can just castle, bring my rook to g8, and then launch an attack. Well, actually his weakness is the king is in the center, so I can play rook d e8. Well, let this rook be over there. One day or the other I'll launch an attack. Now my aim is to open up the center. Let me first save my bishop. He plays this, then I can play knight d4. He captures, I capture, and this is pin. Okay, so attacking this may be easy for me now. Well, I just sacrifice on h3. Now knight g4. Okay, this knight is there, so it isn't a big problem. First I play knight g4, and then one day or the other I can eliminate this. If he doesn't capture, then I can play knight t5 maybe, and h5 and h4 is a trap, I mean bishop trap, so I ultimately recover my material. I actually have to find some method to, well, I'll just go with h5. Well, my bishop is getting trapped. I really don't care. I already have a pretty strong attack on his king. So he plays a5, then I can safely capture and then this checkmate. How does he save it? I capture his pawn. Now the material is equal. I actually want to somehow eliminate this check. I mean, no, he can play this check maybe. That's so. This queen is there. Actually, well, I shouldn't play so aggressive. It's quite dangerous. I'll have to retreat my queen somewhere. Well, I'm running out of time. Well, isn't it a queen trap? Oh yeah, it's a queen trap. So let me just play some sacrifice. Well, actually no. Well, I thought I had 2 rooks for a queen, but then I have 1 rook for a queen. Oh, time out. Okay, so it's Roy Lopez. I'll play the Berlin Defense. Well, let's just remove the bishop from here. And let's develop our bishop. Well, I think we can play c3. If not now, then someday I can play c3 for sure. So maybe I'll play b4 to avoid that. Oh, so I played c4. I can just capture. He captures, then short castle. And d6. Now I can flank it to my bishop. Well, what about d5? A center punch. Or maybe I should have played knight h5 and then knight g3. This pawn is pinned and that's a tempo. Capturing isn't a good idea. Well, maybe it is. I get a pawn, but then this is pinned, so I'll have to remove the pin first. Well, at the correct time I removed because e4 was coming and I lose my knight. Okay, so he captured because knight into e3 was a fork. I can just retreat. Well, there's an attack on the bishop. I can play rook b8 and then maybe capture this pawn. Okay, so he defended it. Knight e5. I tried to play this, so I think capturing is forced here. Well, this can still be played. That's a skewer. Well, maybe you can play knight e4 to counter attack. Well, now I'll have to save my knight. It isn't compulsory. The queen is actually pinned. So, well, I'll actually play queen b6 to attack the pawn. For that, maybe yes, knight d5 I was thinking he can play. So, this is actually a hanging piece. I can play queen d6. Queen e6 would have been a blunder. Knight takes c7. I'll have to remove this knight because if he moves his queen with a tempo, then it's going to be a big problem for me. I can play knight d4. He captures, I capture, he captures, then I win the knight. Captures, and then c6. Yes, he moves in queen d4 check. Oh, okay, so it's not a check. Still I can play queen d4. He isn't forced to trade the queens, but then I can play d8. This is spin, and well, there's a strong attack on f3. So if he moves, actually I'm running out of time, I'll have to play fast. Oh, that was a blunder. Well, this is the problem with Blitz games. You don't get time to think. Resign. Well, actually just 2 minutes and 15 seconds are left. e4, e5, f4. Well, now I can capture on e5. Okay, so t4. Two defenders, two attackers, so he can't capture. Now I'll play a casual developing move, bishop c4. Oh, okay, so I lose my bishop here. No, I can play knight d2 to defend this. c3 now. Well, that's a blunder, I guess. I capture, he captures, and c3 is a fork. Bishop takes c3. I capture, and then, well, rook b1. I castle, and there's an attack. Oh, there. Castling can still be played. He has 3 pawns for a bishop, so it's going to be difficult for me too. Well, now this is a headache. What should I take? The rook or the bishop? I'll take with the bishop. Well, it's a check, so he loses his right to castle. Okay, so I can play knight c4 maybe. You can't capture rook e1 as a pin. Check, so well, I can someday win this, you know, but then if I move, then it just captures. So, well, bishop a3 is a blunder. Well, okay, it's defended, so yes, I can play king h1. Then bishop a3, and I win the queen. There we go. I'll have to play fast. 1 minute 30 seconds left. This should be an easy one for me. This is a pin, so I win the knight. And maybe someday I can play queen d5 check, and some checkmate maybe is there. Moves his king. Any one of them I capture. if he doesn't capture, then I capture, so he'll have to capture. And then, well, let's just calculate again. Queen d5 check. He moves somewhere over here. He captures. After that, well, what about rook takes f6? Rook takes f6, king takes f6, rook f1 check. Well, okay. This check I can still play. King has two places to go, or maybe block. I can capture now. Timeout. Okay. So the tournament is finished and I am 45 among 205 people. So that isn't a bad position. Okay, so anyway, now I'm ending the stream. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Let's meet in the next stream. Have a nice day.